Knows Best.
Hi friends, and welcome back to Brenna Knows Best. I'm your host, Brenna Berg. Hi, how are you guys? Happy Friday. You will not believe what's going on behind the scenes. It is Thursday, the day before Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. This episode is not going to be themed Valentine's Day because what? People want to talk about love? Boring. However, Carter, which we can dive into his work, has been a little bit of an issue. He's really busy and then he has no work at all. So he's working from home today. So I literally just rushed him out the door because I'm like, I have to film. So he's going to the gym. But before he was leaving, I wanted to lock the doors and then I ran over here. I literally just started, but I was like, okay, babe, I'm going through my notes app. I'm like, what happened this last week? What's going on? So he was helping me and he was like, tell the girls that if they have a boyfriend or a guy they're dating to get them this Daniel Boone book, because you guys know we went to Barnes & Noble, not last week, but the week before. I think I spoke about this last Friday. And he got a pirate book. He got a Daniel Boone book. He got all of these stupid history books. He's like, tell them to get this. Tell them to talk about this. Tell them to talk about. I'm like, okay, I forget that we have different interests. But what we are going to talk about is Carter went to the Waste Management last weekend. And this was wonderful for me because I love when Carter leaves. You guys, I'm picturing him listening through the door. Sorry. I also was trying to chug coffee because I was like, I only have an hour to sit down and be as crazy as possible because then he's going to come back. But I did deadbolt our door. So I'm like, if you can't get in and I'm still talking, you're going to have to sit in the hallway because that is not a me problem. You should have went to the office. Okay, this is actually the first time this has ever happened. Even when he was in law school, there was never a moment where he only was running out for a little bit. I was always able to find time. But now that I'm doing this episode in real time, obviously for tomorrow, I need to do it on Thursday. So I'm like, babe, you can totally do this in the future, but just give me a heads up and then I'll film on Wednesday. Nothing is going to be happening between Wednesday and Thursday that isn't important. But anyways, Carter went to the Waste Management. I only really had one full day to myself because I took him to the airport Thursday early morning. Oh, right. Because I filmed the pod. Oh my gosh. Duh. And he went to the office in Phoenix. They have an office there with his friend and his other friend. And then they went home and then they went to a casino. And one of his friends really likes to gamble. And I'm not going to touch on that because I could never date a man that gambles. That is just a scary, slippery slope. And Carter and I were talking about this, how he thinks that one of the bad things of our generation, when we're older, cigarettes was the thing for our parents or maybe our grandparents. One of the things for us is going to be gambling, and gambling has always been around, but the fact that it's on your phone now, there's DraftKings, there's all of these sporting bets apps on your phone. Obviously it'd be harder to go to a casino. Gambling used to be not at your fingertips, and now that it is, I'm sure you guys know, just like I know, so many guys our age that bet on every single sporting event. Oh, that is so scary. But he went to the casino and he took out X amount of dollars. And it's so funny because now we're on the joint bank account, so I can see everything that's happening. So he told me in advance, which he would do anyways, but he's like, okay, I'm going to take out $400. He lost the $400, but he also said that he was up at one point $700. I'm like, why the fuck would you not stop? But that's how gambling works. Number one, you never win. And number two, you're so high and then you crash and burn. I've never gambled. I quite literally have gambled in quotations once in my life when I went to visit my roommate in New York, my college roommate who moved from New York. I think I spoke about her last week or a couple weeks ago. We went to a casino because in New York, I believe at the time anyways, I was 18, maybe 19. It was the summer after our freshman year. You could gamble in New York at 18 or go into casinos. I don't know all of the laws. In some states, you have to be 18 and some it's 21. I don't know the legalities. Actually, don't quote me on that, but something like that. And so we could gamble in New York. So it's something that her and her friends would do just for fun, not normally. So she's like, let's go. Well, at this place, this casino or wherever we were, if you were a first time trier of gambling or a first time not resident, a first time buyer, a first timer at this casino place that we were, you got like $20 in credit or something. If you paid $5, you got like $20 in credit. So I'm like, okay, I can do $5 and then I'll get 25 or 20 or whatever it was. And that'll be that. You guys, I lost it instantaneously. What? Instantly. Whatever the right verbiage is. I lost it immediately and then I didn't put any more money. I was like, why the fuck would I put more money into this? Like, I could never. I'm just like, you guys know how frugal I am. That will never be my calling. But anyways, Cutie Carter lost $400. So I was like, did that not just like ruin your night? Because I would be so fucking sour after that. And he was like, yeah, no, I went home. Like, it was awful. I did not have fun. I'm like, he's like, I had fun while I was up. You know, you have that high, which is exactly how it works and why it happens. But then he's like, I was pissed and I went home. And then his friend, I think, stayed. And then they were all staying at an Airbnb. So basically, there was the one guy that came with him from Dallas. They had different flights and everything, but an associate at the office. And then Carter's friend who works in Vegas but got acquired by the firm, he drove down. So like his friend picked him up from the airport, they went to the office, but that friend that's in Vegas, he's in litigation and he's so fucking busy. He did not go out to dinner with them on Thursday and he did not come to the casino. Like, he was working until like 11 p.m. Then they woke up and they went to the Waste Management, and the firm had a box at the 16th hole, which is like an iconic hole at the Waste Management. There was literally a hole-in-one. Carter watched a man hit a hole-in-one on hole 16. I'm like, ow, I bet it was lit. Because like I was telling you last week, the Waste Management is like a rowdy fucking golf event. It's like nothing else, you know, because golf's typically quiet. It's typically soft and like, yeah, quiet. Obviously, like, this is no. The Waste Management is a whole different thing. So they had this box. There was food in the box and they had such a great day. And then they went home. Oh my gosh. They had a dinner reservation at 10:15 p.m. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? Not only that, that's 11:15 our time, but 10:15 on any time zone? I'm so sorry. Nope. But they were at the Waste Management like all day long. And so they went home, I think, to kind of recoup, and then they went to dinner, and then I think they went gambling. No. Carter went home. He was exhausted and it was a long day, but like, these two are kind of rowdy. Like, Carter is very much like me. We don't go out. We don't drink. We just don't even stay up past 8 p.m. Like, he was so exhausted from the night before and then being out in Phoenix that whole day, which the box was covered, but obviously you're still in the heat all day long. And so he went home at like midnight when their dinner finished, but then the other two boys went out. And then that next day, Carter was like, they came in individually. They both left the casino at a different time. So one came in the middle of the night and then the other came in the middle of the night. And he was like, they both woke me up at the same time. It was a house, but yeah, it wasn't a townhome. I don't know why I said townhome. It was a house and it was just like a traditional, like, one floor. It had a pool. Which obviously they didn't use. But anyway, so they had to be out by like 10. And then Carter's friend, the one that works in the Vegas office, because this was what, Saturday? He drove he drove Carter to the airport, and then Carter got home at like 4 our time, I think. But Friday night for me, I spent sitting on the couch with my blue sushi. If you don't have blue sushi in your town, I know my friend Jen messaged me on Instagram and said they have it in Chicago. We have one here. Maybe there's multiple locations here, but there's one on McKinney. So I went on a walk at like 5 or so on Friday night. So Carter was not here. Went on an evening walk, which I never do anymore because Carter's always getting home at some time. So like, I'm cooking and whatever, but it was so nice out, you guys. It was like, I think maybe 69 degrees, which is like perfection in terms of temperature. So I went on the trail and then I looped around and then I just walked in there and they have a happy hour. They have happy hour from 2 to 6, I think, every day. So there are some rolls that are like $6, that edamame is like $4. They also have happy hour every single Sunday, all day long. Okay, but I haven't had it in so long, and I've actually only ever had it like 2 times, but it is so good. So I got like 3 different rolls. I posted this on my story and edamame, and I set up my little TV tray, and I think I was just watching a YouTube video. I never turn on the goddamn TV. I don't think I watched anything. I think I was just finishing up like a John Deloney YouTube episode, and then I ate, and then me and May probably got into bed at 7 p.m. I don't really remember. And then Saturday morning, yeah, I just hung around all day and then picked Carter up, and then we had a lazy Saturday. Sunday was the Super Bowl. Did we watch? No. You guys, I don't give a flying fuck about the Super Bowl at all. And like, me and Carter were talking about this morning because he's been working from home, also not really working because he has no work. And I was explaining to him how this is like the reason, one of the many reasons where I feel so out of touch on social media from like pop culture, because I just don't give a shit about the things that people give a shit about. Like, as a society, even if you don't watch the NFL at all, a lot of people still watch the Super Bowl, whether it's for the commercials, whether it's for the halftime show. I don't really care, but like, people feel like they need to watch it because it's like a big pop culture event. There's people, there's, you know, it's a big game, there's the halftime performance. I just don't really give a shit. And it is a far cry from who I was as a kid. Like, my dad raised us, like, we watched every single Vikings game, every single Timberwolves game, every single Wild game, if we could, NASCAR, the Super Bowl, like, and I loved it. I love sports. Like, I'm such a sporty bitch, and I always was. But like, I would just rather now go in person. Like, I don't want to be wasting my life away watching it on the couch. I mean, if it's something to watch, cool, amazing. Carter really likes college football, which I understand why now. And when I was a kid, we didn't watch college football at all because around us, there's no actual good college football teams. Like, we're from, you know, North Dakota, such a tiny fucking place. Nobody gives a shit. Like, NDSU is good, but they're not even in one of the top divisions. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, we got invited to a party with one of the associates at his like girlfriend's dad's house, which I don't even know if they followed up. And it started at like 5:30. That's the other thing. Why do we not put the Super Bowl on a Saturday? Like, do it Saturday night. Why is it Sunday night at 5:30? I don't want to be leaving my house on a Sunday night. Does anybody else feel that way? Like, that is so annoying to me. Mind you, I don't care in the first place, but yeah, we were like, nope. And so we didn't watch it. I did not see the halftime show. I then on Monday open up my app, my TikTok, and everything is about the Super Bowl and the show. So I'm seeing snippets, I'm seeing people talk about the commercials, I'm seeing all of that, but I didn't watch any part of it, so I don't know what goes on. It's similar to like a lot of things that I see online, the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively and this and that. I just don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about celebrities. I don't give a shit about like the Super Bowl. I don't know. Some things I do give a shit about, and then other things I could not care less, and that's one of those things. However, what I will say is I love Serena Williams. I love that bitch, and I don't really know the correlation or like why she was a part of the halftime show. I don't know any of that. I have been a Serena Williams fan for forever, and actually that reminds me of a story that I did not think of until right now. She was like my idol. Me and my brother used to play tennis for fun, and actually Mr. Zainofsky, who was the tennis coach, always tried to get me to join the team, but it was in spring and I played soccer and I was really good at soccer, so tennis was something that my dad had us play in like middle school. We started going for fun. So it wasn't something that I was conditioned at from a very young age. That was like a part of my identity. Whereas like volleyball and soccer and obviously bowling were, but I loved it. And then obviously Serena Williams is just such a star and so talented and like one of the best female athletes in the whole world, if not the best. And I'm just so mesmerized by people, something I do give a shit about, people who are the top in whatever their thing is. Like tennis, you know, I loved Kobe Bryant, the best of basketball, business. Like, I'm so fascinated by the people who are the best at their thing. Like, I don't know. I think that's so cool, especially as a woman. And so Serena Williams is somebody I looked up to. Her dad wrote a book, which is what King Richard it turned into a movie, which I never watched, but it was, it was based off of their lives, but Richard Williams, Serena and Venus's dad, wrote this book called Black and White, The Way I See It. And I got it when it dropped, way back when I lived at my house. I don't remember if I was in middle school or high school. I'll have to look at when that came out, but he talked about his life and raising the girls, and he grew up in Compton, and so did the girls. So did Venus and Serena. They obviously were very much in poverty for a moment. And actually, now I don't want to misquote because I hate spreading misinformation, but I'm pretty sure his dad, or their dad, sorry, Richard, if he wasn't a slave, his parents were. And that's why it's called Black and White, The Way I See It, because he was raised in that era. Obviously, when now I don't know when slavery ended, but just the whole fucked up just racism as a whole. So he talks about his younger life, then having the girls, and quite literally, you guys, this man, because they lived in poverty and had no goddamn money, he was watching TV, and it came on the news that these girls were holding up a check for $5,000 or $10,000. These tennis girls, okay, or maybe it was a male, and some local tournament, or maybe it was a big tournament. Oh, again, maybe I should get my facts straight. I didn't anticipate I would be talking about this, but it just came to my brain. And he saw that and was like, oh my gosh, that's a way to make money. Literally was like, okay, I'm gonna put my girls in tennis. And they were tiny, they were so young, and which actually he learned before, their dad took salsa lessons and all sorts of lessons and things that would help him learn about tennis, because the way of moving your body and all of that. And then he put the girls in tennis and was out there at the Compton tennis courts right by them, practicing with them day in and day out, because literally the reason is he saw on TV these people winning, and he was like, oh my gosh, this is how we're gonna make money. And he just fucking went full force and created Venus and Serena, two of the best, if not the best, women's tennis players in the world of all time. And that's how it started. And then he talks more about that and them getting better and sending them to this, and I think they might have been an IMG, boarding schools for tennis. I don't quite remember, but it's so good. And you guys know I love documentaries, I love real things, I love people that are the best at what they do. And yeah, I loved that book. I reread it so many times when I was young. I just was so inspired by Venus and Serena, especially Serena. And me and my brother loved watching tennis because we love to play. And so we would watch all of the Opens and Wimbledon and all of the things if we could, if it was on while we were at home. And I remember dying with my brother, because you guys know I am 5'9", 150 pounds. That's where I've been pretty much my whole life since high school. You guys, I was 5'9", I think, as a freshman, either an 8th grader, freshman, right around that age. And I was always 155 pounds. I've been this since I was 14 years old about. And so this was the time when I loved Serena, and we would watch. And I remember being in the living room with my brother Googling. I'm like, how much does this girl weigh? Because she's just so muscular and so powerful, and obviously just I was so fascinated and obsessed with her, literally obsessed. And every single thing that I found on Google, there was not a website that said anything other than she was 160 or 155, and there's just no way. And it doesn't matter, I'm not even body shaming, that's not even what I'm talking about. I just want an honest answer, because you guys, she is so fucking muscular, and I was so impressed by that. And I was like, oh my gosh, as me being I think she's 5'9" or 5'10", but seeing her, she's way thicker, she's way more muscular. And me and my brother could never find a source that said she was more than 155. I'm like, there's no fucking way. I'm 155, which fat and muscle are different, but just ow. I'm like, how much did she pay these people to say that she's 155? Which again, I'm not shaming at all, because who gives a fuck about weight? I don't care. But I'm like, there's no way. And then this documentary about her came out. What was that called? Oh, I also loved that. This was way before King Richard. It was just about, I think it was like the Williams sisters, maybe is what it was called. And she said in this documentary, you guys, that she never lifted weights. And I'm like, what the fuck? And this was a moment in time. See, again, we're talking at least, I think, 10 years ago. So since then she has, but like in her youth up until I think maybe her 20s, she said she never lifted weights. I'm like, how the fuck are you so muscular? And I get it. In tennis, like you need to be muscular. You're going to build that. But like to build the muscle that she has, I'm like, you have to lift weights. But she like claims she didn't. I'm like, oh my God, she's just like literally a freak of nature. Oh my God, I'm just obsessed with her. She's like one of the only celebrities that I've followed on Instagram my whole entire life. Like, I think she's the coolest. I love that she's incredible at her craft and she doesn't shy away from it. Like, she's humble, but she's honest. Like, she knows she's the fucking best. And when she was pregnant, you guys, and she did a tournament right after having her baby, or like while she was pregnant. See, I'm out of it now because again, I haven't had TV in years, so I haven't been able to keep up as much, but I fucking love her. So I don't know what she did at the Super Bowl, but I just think she's incredible. I think she's stunning. I think she's perfect. I think her outfits are incredible. I always wanted her tennis outfits. Like, she was sponsored by Nike for a really long time. I'm sure maybe she still is, but like she always had the cutest things. Like, oh, perfection. That leopard, like the cheetah outfit, deceased. But anyways, it has something to do with Kendrick. And then I've been seeing a lot of uproar, which I wanted to talk about Poppi. And I just want to like give my opinions. Sometimes I shy away from doing this on TikTok because people are just so fucking crazy, but Poppi sent a bunch of influencers vending machines specifically for Poppi, and everybody, like always, freaks out. And similar to the Tarte trip, similar to everything, that influencers don't need more and they already make a ton of money and yada yada, which I understand. Again, I made a video the other day and I was like, I can always understand where people are coming from, but why do you care so much? Like, and it just comes from a place of like hatred and obviously being low. Like, when you're in a place where you financially can't afford things, and then yeah, you see all of these fucking rich people that post all of these things, get a vending machine, but it's marketing. Like, I just can't understand the people who get on TikTok and sit there and they're like, I can't believe Poppi, like I'll never buy from them again. Okay, they don't give a shit. They do not give a singular shit, and they will do just fine without you. I just like getting up in arms about anything. What's the reason? Keep it moving. You can disagree with something. The Tarte trip, again, it's so lavish. It's so luxe. Is it necessary? It gets people talking. And like Poppi, it gets people talking. You know what I mean? And I just think that's what the internet is. We always want to be talking about the latest thing that's happening and up in arms about this and that. But like, I just don't really understand it. Like, why are we so upset about them sending, like, it's marketing and it's doing its fucking job because everybody has been talking about it. Wait, can we also talk about how I saw Alex Earl post a TikTok? She was in 4 Super Bowl commercials. I said, how much are you making? What did you get paid for each of those? I cannot even imagine. Good for her. Which we're going to talk about work at the end of this because I kind of had a really stressful week with my whole situation and my contracts. But also, I wanted to tell you guys, that girl from the Amazon event, as you guys can tell, which I always talk this fast, I'm always a little bit chaotic. I'm really trying to get everything out. That way, if Carter gets back from the workout, that I can shut it off and I said everything. I'm pissed. I'm going to keep him locked out, actually. But anyways, that woman that charges $22,000 for the stories, I saw her post 2 ads within 4 days. I said she just made about $40,000 from 2 Instagram stories. Granted, they were 6 Instagram stories, but 2 separate days. I said, that's fucking crazy. Crazy. Okay, let's keep it moving. Valentine's Day. Okay, happy Valentine's Day to all of you who are single. Valentine's Day fucking is stupid. If you feel bad because you don't have a Valentine, because you're single, because maybe you just recently went through a breakup or you have a situationship, it does not matter. It does not matter at all. It's a fake holiday. Okay. It's a wonderful holiday if you want to celebrate Galentine's. It's a wonderful holiday if you do have a partner and you want to celebrate. Like, again, it's whatever you make it, but I've never understood the like being sad on Valentine's Day. I mean, I do get it if like, okay, everybody's feelings are valid. I remember me and one of my serious boyfriends, well, the one that I had before Carter, broke up once. Like, the end of January. Actually, both times we broke up, it was the end of January. But the first breakup was the hardest because that was like the most jarring to me. And I remember that Valentine's Day I was like, fuck this. No, not really outwardly to other people, but like obviously we broke up I think like January 24th. The reason I remember it is because Natalie's birthday is January 25th and I was literally a hot fucking mess. That's the only reason I remember, because I felt, or maybe it was on her birthday, because I don't know if we had something planned. No, we definitely didn't. She was gone, but I was like blowing up her phone and I felt so bad, but I like was in it. And she to this day is always like, Brenna, it literally did not affect my life at all. I was happy to be there for you, like quite literally, but I to this day feel bad about it. But we broke up, so that was like 2 weeks before, and obviously in your head you have all of these things like, for Valentine's Day we're gonna do this and we had this coming up in the future and yada yada. So like when that all comes crumbling, it's so sad. So if you're going through a breakup, or you know you're going through a weird thing, I'm sorry, and it sucks and it is annoying to see online, and you had ideas for yourself, but it's going to be okay. Just like maybe stay off your phone, like stay away from the triggers. The wonderful thing is it's a Friday. Hello, it's today. And so you can do whatever the fuck you want, and you can order in, or you can take yourself out, or you can go out with the girls and have fun. Because when it's on, like last year, I think it was like a Thursday. It was just like a random day. I hate when like holidays and birthdays fall on like a goddamn Tuesday. It's like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? But it's on a Friday and it's just a regular old weekend and it'll be over. And if you're in a relationship, I hope you have so much fun. If you're in like a newly dating stage, I hope you have a wonderful whatever you do. We have dinner reservations for sushi. Carter planned that for us to go, which he's working from home today. I think he's going to work from home tomorrow, if I had to guess, if he has no work. But when he planned it, he planned a restaurant right by his apartment. Hello? Does he have a second apartment? His work. And it's called Musume. M-U-S-U-M-E. Musume. I don't know. Never been. I'm excited to try it, but it's like right by his work downtown. So I was just going to drive there and then we would walk over. But now I told him today, I was like, babe, do you want to do something else? Because if you're going to work from home, number one, we can bump that reservation up to like 4, you know, that way we're home because we just love to be home, but everything's booked out. So I don't think we can. But if we're here all day, I don't want to drive over there. God, I'm so fucking lazy. You guys, it's a real issue. Like I just am kind of not a negative Nancy, but like a lazy bum. Like if something's past 5 p.m. and I have to drive and it's not something that I'm like super excited about, I'm like, fuck that. And I need to have a better attitude. That's something I'm trying to work on. But that's what we're doing. I already gave Carter his Valentine's Day gift, which I'm not sure if I told you last week. We went to J. Crew and got Carter a vest, and they had navy in the store. Okay. But he wanted a black because, you know, the brown accessories, like he's matches his shoes to his belt, and there was like a very specific thing, so navy wouldn't have gone with it, and okay, so we ordered black and it came in time, so he took it even though it was too hot to wear. But he had made a little comment that he would like to get the blue for sure, and I thought to myself, why don't I just get that for him for Valentine's Day so he doesn't have to buy it? And okay, it was at the J. Crew factory, which is different than J. Crew. Like it's the same thing. However, I went online, I went on jcrew.com and I Googled like quilted vest and it was not popping up. I'm like, oh my God, it's already gone. No, I should have done it immediately. And then I went into Google. I was like, surely I can find it on Poshmark or somewhere else. And I Googled, I found the receipt. I kept the receipt from the other one and I typed it in, and then J. Crew Factory is a separate website, which is so fucking weird and kind of annoying, but it was on there. So I looked, and actually the interface was giving me so many problems, but it said that I could pick it up in store. So I was like, oh, I need to drive. This was on Tuesday. I didn't have the car. I was like, oh, I swear to God, if it sells out. So then yesterday, I dropped him off and I was like, I need the car. So I went and got it for him, and then I just left it out. I'm like, babe, do you want me to wait 2 days? Or, well, I didn't ask him. I literally just had it on the counter. I said, Happy Valentine's Day. here's your gift. Oh my gosh, you guys, every 30 minutes my camera shuts off, and typically I take a little break and I like shut off my camera and was like on my phone. I'm like, oh my God, I only have so much. I swear to God, I have a pea brain. Like sometimes I'm like, bitch, what are you thinking? Well, I got an email and then I got this and I'm like a hot freaking mess. So yeah, I don't know if Carter's getting me anything for Valentine's Day, and I don't give a shit. Actually, you guys, last week we were like sitting in bed or doing something and we were talking about gifts and like our elopement and and he goes, what did you get me for Christmas again? Oh, right, nothing. I said, oh my gosh. I said, okay, I didn't know we were keeping score. And then he's like, no, babe, I'm just kidding. And I'm like, yeah, but like that joke, like clearly you are keeping score. So like now what? Now I have to get you something. So when I gave him the gift yesterday, I was like, oh, here's your gift. Mark it on the tally. I got you a Valentine's gift. And he was like, babe. And I'm like, no, put it on the list, asshole. He would be so appalled because I should not put that in there. And this is something about Carter and I's relationship that I've been wanting to talk about actually on TikTok, is in my previous relationships, you guys, we were always like, I was one of those people like, roast me. Like I want to roast you and like have that sort of banter. Me and Carter do not ever. I have maybe a handful of times. Carter has quite literally never once even jokingly said something mean or bad about me or made even the tiniest of like thing about me. This is probably the closest to that. And I'm exaggerating. You know what they say, like never let the truth get in the way of a good story. He definitely didn't say like, you didn't give me a gift, but it like got brought up in the conversation. I think he was genuinely asking, but the wonderful thing is like, oh, I just love that because I've never had it. I've always been in that couple, and I don't think it's necessarily bad, but there are some people online that like, that's their thing. Like with their relationship, they joke and whatever. And back in the day, I'm like, oh, that's totally normal. I don't think it's a bad sign, but I will say with Carter, something that I love so much is that we don't do that. Like he has literally never once even jokingly said something that would be hurtful or mean or like sarcastic or anything. And low key, I feel like I've lost my humor a little bit because of it. Like I feel like I'm not as sarcastic as I used to be. I used to be just a literal sarcastic bitch. Every word that came out of my mouth when like I was in high school and college was just like sarcasm, just dripping in it, which was funny at times. Low key, I was just a bitch, but everybody always thought I was funny. But I feel like I've lost that along the way, and a lot of that is because of Carter. But I think that's an overall good. I think that is, I will try and get my humor back, but I don't know where I was going with that. I just wanted to say that we're not that way, and I love that so much. And I think it keeps our love just like so wholesome and wonderful. Like there's a point where it's like fun and banter is cute and fun and fresh. And then you also know the couples where it's like they just dig at each other. Oh my gosh, speaking of couples, there's like this couple drama that I know of and I'm living vicariously through. This couple got into an argument and he lied. They also just have like a really bad relationship, but it is sad because they're married and like 30, but things have taken a turn and I've just been waiting for details. Okay, I've already said too much. Let's go back to my week. I went to Half Price Books when Carter was gone. Number one, I got rid of some of the books that I no longer wanted. Some books that I've read that I didn't love. I'm just like, I used to donate them, but now that I know I can get a few bucks, why not? I got rid of, oh, you guys are going to hate this, the Abby Jimenez For the Summer or whatever that one is. I just like don't. Romance, I'm already declaring not my thing. And I dropped off like 9 books. I got like $7 back, but I picked up a book by David Ellis called Look Closer. It popped up on my TikTok a few times by some book talkers. I'm like, let me just get this. It was like $8. So really I only paid like $2 for it. I just finished, you guys, The New Couple in 5B by Lisa Unger. Loved it. I loved it. I could not put it down. I've been reading all morning. One, because Carter's here, so I can't film. But number two, because it's so good. I loved it. And I was scared because I had never heard of her. I had never read a book by her, but it was one of the books I got at Barnes & Noble when we went, buy one, get one half off. And I went on Goodreads after I bought it, and its reviews were like 3.6 or something average, and I was like, oh fuck, I fucked up. But I really enjoyed it. I loved it. And I think that's it. Oh, I bought Carter a book. I also got that for him. I guess I could count that as a Valentine's Day gift, The Gray Man. But that's my book update. Oh, and okay, so next week I'm gonna have to film a little bit earlier because Carter and I are going to California for Carter's dad's birthday. Okay, and we have some fun things planned and I'm excited. But Natalie is gonna watch Maydog because we would have taken her. However, one of the days we're gonna be up visiting Carter's grandparents all day long, and we wouldn't be able to bring her. And so I don't know what I would do with her. So I'm like, let's just leave her. So Natalie's going to watch her. Natalie is my friend who I borrowed Fourth Wing from. And then I read the second one and she got Onyx Storm and she just finished it. So I'm going to get it from her. I'm going to drop May off on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, because we leave Wednesday night and I'm going to get that. However, we were on FaceTime and I was asking her about it. I'm like, oh my God, are you loving it? Like, what's going on? And she's like, oh my gosh. And she's like, she said something about Dane, and Dane is a character in the book. And I read this now, you guys, months ago. And I was like, bitch, who the fuck is Dane? Like, the second I close a book, it doesn't matter how good the book is. Like, it goes from my brain. It's gone. I already forgot. And she's like, oh my gosh, you already forgot who Dane is. She's like, I'm not going to let you read Onyx Storm until you reread the 1 and 2 because you have to know who Dane is. I'm like, bitch, just remind me. Like, I get it. A part of me wants to reread the first 2 and then jump right into the third. But those books are so goddamn thick. They're so long. So I'm just going to ask her to give me Onyx Storm. It'll refresh. I remember Dane is the friend. She reminded me. I'm there. It's like once you start reading a trilogy or like any series, it all comes back to you, even if you forgot, even if it's been a long time. Similar to when I watched It Ends With Us. Like, I didn't quite remember what that book was about. But then once I started watching, I'm like, oh, right. The flower shop, Bloom, da, da, da. It all starts coming back. So she better not make me read those because that is something she would do because she's crazy. But I'm hoping she'll just give me the book. So I'm going to start Look Closer today, and then hopefully that'll finish sometime around then, and then I can start Onyx Storm on the flight. Oh, that's perfect timing. I can't wait to get into that. And then you guys, I think it's time that I buy Akatar. I think I need to do it. What else happened this week? I'm trying to get through my notes here. That way I don't leave anything out. I bought a hair diffuser. Oh my God, I'm such a fucking liar. You guys, I did not buy it. I got it on TikTok Shop because as a creator, you can get some things on TikTok Shop because they want you to post about it. But I've never posted a TikTok Shop video. But like these brands reach out to you and they're like, we'd love to send you this. We'd love to send you this. And I have on my notes app, that app where I keep all of the things that I want to buy. I have a hair diffuser because you guys tell me all the time on Instagram stories. And I've talked about this past week, how there's like this curly hair routine, and I don't think they're all the same, but it's like the best way to use curl cream and gel and leave-in conditioner to like bring out your natural curls. And I get it because when you see my wet hair, it's really wavy. And like when it dries naturally, I have just naturally wavy hair. But every single one of these curly hair routine videos that I see require a hair diffuser. And if you don't know what that is, basically, I'm sure you can buy some that are specifically a hair diffuser, but the one that I got, it's a blow dryer, just a regular hair blow dryer, and it has an attachment on the end, and it's like a round attachment. It's like flat and round, and it is a lot bigger than what a typical hair blow dryer, like the end of it is. I'm probably not describing this well, but basically it has kind of like holes in it, and what it's doing is so the blow dryer itself is blowing out hair, but because you have this attachment on, it kind of spreads it out. So it's not as direct. It's not like really blowing your hair. It's just making the air come out maybe like a little bit slower and in a bigger surface area. So with curly hair in specific, I think it helps not make it so frizzy is what I'm gathering, what I'm putting together. So like you can put it at the ends of your hair and scrunch it to your head, and it's just like slowly the air is coming out and it's drying your hair, but it's drying it, I think, in a way that just like doesn't make it frizz and doesn't fan it out, if that makes sense. So it's better for probably hair in general, but curly hair in specific. So I got that and I tried it for the first time yesterday, you guys, like this whole hair routine situation, and my hair looked the same. And I don't know if I have the best products, which again, I don't know how much like products really change the things. Like, to me, my hair is always the same. It's always healthy. It's always whatever. It kind of curled the same, which again is my first time. I know practice makes perfect. Somebody did message me though on that story and was like, it just took me a few months to like train my hair to curl a certain way. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? I'm not going to do this enough times. I'm not saying what the fuck are you talking about to her. I believe her. What she's saying is correct. I'm saying that is like, I'm not the bitch who's going to take months and like do this often enough to make a difference and to like train my hair. I just like, I'm too lazy. Again, we're going back to one of my default settings. I'm a lazy bitch. Speaking of, one of you asked me on Instagram as well how I like my red therapy mask. And again, I don't use it enough to know the difference, you guys. And it's like so weird because I'm sitting at my apartment, like it'd be so easy to turn it on, but like I don't even do my skincare routine consistently enough to like, let alone do this red light therapy mask. I feel so bad because oftentimes I've told you guys about things and whatever. I'm just not consistent enough. I'm just like not with the beauty routines. That to me, I don't care enough about my hair and my looks and my makeup to take that much time to like perfect the thing. I'm too lazy. I don't give a shit. So like, the doing the hair and training it for months, like I don't anticipate myself doing this because I love curling my hair. I curl my hair, it stays for a few days, I wash it, and then I do it again, and then it stays a few days and whatever. Like that's just me. That's who I am. So I apologize, but that's never gonna fucking happen. So I'm gonna try it some more. I'm gonna give it a shot. At the very least, it was nice to dry my hair because something that I do, I never blow dry my hair. So every time I shower, I let it air dry. And oftentimes I shower at like 5 p.m. I do my whole thing, do my little leave-in conditioner, my little oils. I wake up the next day and I want to curl my hair and it's still not dry yet. So I will say I'll probably use this diffuser just like after I get out of the shower to help, because when I woke up this morning, my hair was dry. I didn't completely dry it with the diffuser last night, but I did it enough that it was like semi-dry. So then when I woke up this morning, it was good and I could curl my hair. So I did like that. That's a win. But other than that, the curls, like, again, I'm no like beauty queen and I'm not good at these things and I probably didn't do it correctly. So I'm going to keep trying a little bit with all of these hair products that I have, but that's where I'm at with that. What else do we have going on this week? Tomorrow, you guys, Saturday, I am going to the nanny fam's house to watch their little pup. Nanny mom called me like 2 weeks ago, and I guess on Monday it's President's Day. Oh my gosh. So it's Valentine's Day, but also Monday is President's Day, which I'm not sure if that's a federal holiday. I'm pretty sure it's not. However, it is a day off from the kids' school, I guess. So the boys, nanny dad and nanny boy, are going to Aspen. They have friends that have a house there, so they're going to go skiing, and they're having a whole weekend because actually the guy just got citizenship. They are from Israel. He's from Israel. You guys know the nanny fam is Jewish, and nanny mom's from Israel herself. And then this family friend that they have who lived in Manhattan with them when they lived there, moved to Aspen quite a bit ago actually, but he just got his citizenship like a couple weeks ago, so they're like throwing a party. But nanny mom and nanny girl couldn't go because nanny girl has a dance competition all day Saturday. So the boys are gone, and like these dance competitions that nanny girl has are always like an hour out of Dallas. Like they're always on the outskirts of the goddamn Metroplex or like the DFW, and they're all day long. Like she has a performance here and then a couple hours later here, so you can't like go back and forth, so you kind of just have to sit out there. So you guys know they got a black little Labradoodle, and they've had him now for like 3 weeks. His name is Judah. She called me and was like, can you guys like watch Judah or you or whatever? And I'm like, oh my gosh, of course. Which when we went over there and met him, we told them at the time, I was like, I would love to babysit. Hello. That's how I got May. You guys know I used to dog sit for everybody. I used to dog sit JJ's dog, this golden doodle, and these 4 golden retrievers for this woman, and then these 2 over here with cane corsos, and then May dog, and then I got May dog, as you guys know. So I'm so excited. And Carter's very best friend here, his birthday is next Wednesday, but we're flying out, as you know, as I literally just told you. So they're going to have a birthday day. I didn't want to bring May over to Nanny Fam's house just with like the puppy and like managing them both, because I know this dog, she hasn't, or he, sorry. You know, when you have a dog, you call them the gender that your own dog is. He has not gone potty indoors except for like excited pees, because I talked to Nanny Mom like 2 days ago. I was like, okay, what do I need to know? She's like, I'm going to feed him breakfast and take him out to go potty like I normally do, but during the day, you know, just take him out every 2 hours. And like, he knows he's not allowed on the carpet and the furniture, because you guys, Nanny Fam's house is like gorgeous. It's brand new. I helped them obviously with all of I was there when they moved into this house, and they obviously had an interior designer team that like did the whole house. So their furniture is just like spectacular and expensive, and they were never dog people. And this is one of the reasons they never wanted a dog, because she's so particular about that. But she's like, he knows he's not allowed on there or there. Like if you sit on the couch, he'll just be like, right, there's a bed over there. And he knows that he can't go upstairs and yada, yada. I was just like trying to understand, because I don't want him to do something. She said the only accident that they've had with him so far is one day she was on the phone, Nanny Mom, and she heard it happen. He started chewing or like gnawing on a certain wall. And she's like, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. We had the people come and fix it, you know, the contract, whatever, the people that I used to deal with. And she's like, it's my own fault. I wasn't paying attention. But she's like, for having a puppy for a month, and that's the only thing that's happened, she's like, I'm happy. I'm like, no, that's incredible. She's like, God must have known that we couldn't handle a rambunctious, crazy dog, because she's like, he's literally been perfect. And I don't know, did I tell you guys? So when I quit nannying, I hired the girl who took my place, because I was also part of my job, which was fucking crazy, but they did not like her. And I didn't give a shit at the time. I said, I have to get out of here. But like a month or two, a few months, I think it was like February, into that girl working there, Nanny Mom got let go from her job. I probably didn't talk about this because it's none of my business to spread, but like literally was so crazy. It was so out of left field. She had no idea. She was going to sue them. Actually, she had Carter reach out to one of the employment attorneys there. There are attorneys that obviously help people who were wrongfully let go or yada yada. She literally was like, maybe not going to sue them, but she was using an attorney to, even though Nanny Mom herself has a law degree, she never used it. But so she's technically not a lawyer, because you have to be bar certified, but she obviously knows the legal. However, she had somebody help with like her severance package, but she'd only been at the company for like a little over a year, maybe almost 2 years, the amount of time that I was there, because the reason I started working for them is because she got this job. And you guys, she was an executive vice president in this huge fucking company. It was crazy. But in Texas, and I think a lot of states, they actually don't have to tell you why they're letting you go, which number one is fucked up in and of itself. But like, regardless of that being the case, when you are a VP, the least those people could have done was tell her. But like, I don't know. It was really messy. Her like role kind of got changed. And then all of a sudden, this woman above her hated her. And like Nanny Mom is like the most incredible, hardworking, kind, like good employee ever. Like she's just an incredible woman. And like, she literally has never like ever had work beef. Like she does as she's told. She takes care of her business and that's it. But this woman just despised her. And I don't know if I should be saying this, but Nanny Mom is Jewish, and like obviously, especially around this time, there was so much anti-Semitism happening with like the Palestine situation. Like there was just like so much chaos, and this woman was, I think, Islamic. And again, she doesn't know if like that, oh no, the girl wasn't, but like her boyfriend was or something. And like Nanny Mom is very loud and proud about being Jewish. Like her necklace, she has the Star of David, which I think is incredible. Like she should be. There's no reason she shouldn't be. But like, I don't know if that had something to play, which is like so dark and so twisted. But like, there was really no reason that this woman should have hated her. And the fact that she got let go, like literally one day, she just had a review, literally 5-star glowing review, nobody, no notes, no nothing. Like literally all of her superiors, all of her peers, the people like the other VPs, everybody below her loves her. She's incredible. But this like one woman, and like 3 days after her last review, she got one of those emails put on her goddamn calendar with somebody in HR or somebody in a department she had never even met, never even heard of, hopped on the call with that woman. And they were like, hey, we're letting you go if you have questions. The woman that like despises her, she's like, hey, nanny mom, letting you go. If you have questions, you can talk to this person. Got off the call. Like quite literally 10 seconds, hopped off. Okay. Obviously just like completely shattered her world. Like she loves working. Like there's a reason, you know, they hired me, and like they're both like very high performing individuals. But that was like a few months after I left and hired that girl. So immediately she let that girl go, and she was just like being a stay-at-home mom again. And she was only a stay-at-home mom for like 1 year when they moved from Manhattan to here. But she has not picked up a job since, because it was in like February or March. The kids only had 2 months of school left. The summer, oh my gosh, I just heard like a noise. Is Carter back? Oh, please, I want to keep talking to my girls. Don't be back. If I just like sporadically hop off this podcast, just know that Carter came back. But I locked him out, so he can wait like 5 more seconds. However, nanny mom, so she was like, okay, summer is coming, like I don't want to start a job because the kids are going to be at home, like I can spend the time with them, yada yada. So then the kids went back to school. This was now this past August, and she started like applying for different roles and different things. The hard thing is though, because she was a VP, she's like an executive, like there's only so many roles up at the top. Like she's not against taking a smaller role, but like also once you make a certain amount of money, once you're so high up, like there's only so many roles at the top that you can get. So obviously she thought about going to the client or going to like an adjacent company to what she was at, but she just has not nailed down a job. So them getting this dog, she's at home. So like it actually was a really good time, and I think it helped her because she was kind of spiraling. Like she wants to work, she's a good worker, like it's something she wants to do, but hasn't been able to find a good fit also that fits into her lifestyle. Like that job she had before fit so perfectly for the schedule and the kids, and she was able to work from home, and the time difference from London, because the company was based out of London, like it was just so perfect, and they were so generous. I mean, she made a fuck ton of money and got to work the hours, and it was like perfection. There was an office here, so she went into the office like once every month and like could see the people there, even though she didn't work directly with them. Like it's hard once you, again, it's like elevating in life. Once you get a certain job, a certain number, it's hard to go back down. So anyways, I don't know why I just told her life story, but this dog came at a perfect time. So she's able to be with the dog at home. And like I said, they're going to send the puppy to training in a couple of weeks, I think, in maybe April. So then it'll go get trained and come back and hopefully be good to go. But that means tomorrow, Saturday, I'm going to be hanging with the pup all day long, and I cannot wait. And then, oh, Carter. So his friend's birthday, they're going to do a whole birthday thing. So I didn't want to bring May because May is chaotic. And I was like, babe, can you just stay home? But like, obviously May can be left alone for a few hours as well. So they're going to go, I'm sure, to the shooting range and here and there. And just, he's going to spend a day with his friends. And then I'll have the car there and I'll just like film and get to work and do stuff. And that'll be that. So I'm so excited to see Judah. I'll be posting on my story. Don't you worry. Oh my gosh. I was like, can I take him on walks? And she's like, he's not leash trained. He's kind of chaotic. It's not going to be like a fun walk because he's here, he's there, he stops. Like he doesn't really know what he's doing. I was like, okay, they have a backyard. So I'm sure I'll just hang out with him in the backyard. But yeah, okay, you guys, I think those are the pressing things that I have. Let me look at my notes here. Oh, the last episode of the Beast Games is out now. So Carter and I are going to watch that maybe when he gets back from the gym. If he has no more work to do, ooh, I'm so excited. If you watched it, please message me. I don't know if anybody listens to my show recommendations because why would you? I'm like not a TV bitch. But also, Love is Blind comes out today, February 14th, and it's a Minneapolis episode or season, and I'm so excited, and I'm so shocked I didn't know people. I think I said this on the episode last week. Like, I'm pretty well versed in Minneapolis just because my brother lives there and a lot of people from North Dakota moved there. So I was honestly disappointed that I didn't even like recognize, because I used to go there all the time. And yeah, I'm so excited. And just like Midwestern, I just love seeing people in their real lives. So that comes out. I gave you the book update. Oh, the work drama. I'll give you that. And then I'm going to go 54 minutes. Okay, we're good. Basically, as you know, had a bunch of like, not interviews, but calls with different management agencies, yada, yada. Again, let me know if you guys don't want to hear about this, but I do feel like it's a big part of my life. And that's what this podcast is, or these episodes on Fridays. And it's like such a big thing that consumes my headspace. But I don't know if because like this is my job, it's like weird to talk about. I don't know. I'm overthinking it. But anyways, I had a bunch of calls, and basically there was one management team. Well, they're just the best in influencing and marketing in general. The DBA, they are the top of the top. They have the top talent. They are the most multifaceted. And here's the thing, like I talked about last week, you guys know I'm not a fashion bitch. I'm not a beauty bitch. I'm a different kind of content creator, and I need to use my personality. And that's like what is going to be my way of making money in this field is a little bit different. Like, I'm not going to shill out all of the things. Of course, that's a side part. And of course, I'm a woman who's going to talk about the products that I buy and use. Of course, I have a life. I can share that, but that's not my main thing. And with all of these other talent and like management agencies, that's their bread and butter. So there's like the DBA, and then there's Wasserman, which Wasserman just gave me bad vibes. And not because of anything specific, they're all great, but like it's really a vibe. And then there's the traditional influencing, and the people that I told I would come, because the DBA had been giving me the back and forth and round, and like, not to their fault, they were just trying to find a good place for me, but I also just wanted to get it locked down because it was consuming my mind. So the Sociable Society, they're huge, they have so many great brand deals, but like that's all they kind of do is like brand deals. And again, I'm thinking bigger. I want to grow the podcast. I need help with the pod. I want to potentially get guests and like just make this the best for you. But a lot of these influencing agencies don't do that. And so I had told the Sociable Society that I would go with them, and they were excited. And I loved my talent manager. She was incredible, and she was the best vibes. And I was not super excited because I understood that like it's not my lane. Like, I know deep down that that's not where I belong, but like it's good for right now. And the contract is just, most contracts are like 6 months or a year and you're locked in, whereas they were like a 30-day notice. I'm like, okay, if the DBA tells me that I need a certain number of followers or listens or whatever the thing is, I can work on growing it, and then I can go there and I can do the 30-day notice and whatever. Like, it was kind of like an easy way out, but still a great company. Well, then I got on a call with like a partner of the DBA and a different girl, and they were like, Brenna, we need you, we want you, we love you. We were just trying to find a good place, but they're like, we understand if you already signed. But I hadn't signed the contract because Carter was like, this contract fucking sucks, and was going back and forth with their attorney, and I hadn't signed it yet. This call was literally this week, but I felt so bad because I did tell the girl and I started onboarding, but I still didn't feel good about it. I was just doing it, and the DBA is who I wanted, but they were like, no, we'll send you a contract right now. Like, we want you, we want to grow with you, we want to help you with the pod, we want to do all of these things. And so I'm signing the contract today with the DBA, and I'm so excited, and it feels so good. And I love the women, they're incredible. The women that was on, one of them will be my direct person that I'm with all the time. I don't know if I should say their names because I don't want to, like, again, I'm not trying to expose anybody, but the other woman, the partner, she's incredible. She worked with Mariana Hewitt, who started Summer Fridays. She's worked with Catherine Schwarzenegger. She's like worked with Tasha from The Bachelor, like huge influential people. And I'm like, oh my God, amazing. And they just have like all of the top creators just everywhere. They are with the DBA. And so I'm super excited. And thank you guys for listening and following. And like, you guys are the reason I'm here and hopefully can grow and like do all of these cool opportunities. I don't even know what's in store for me. I think I have no idea what it's about to be. Obviously brand deals, but like that's not even what they're thinking. They're thinking more just like, I don't know, hosting events and like, again, doing things, maybe doing like I don't even know. I'm not going to say because I have no fucking clue. We're just going to be a team and they're going to help me with the pod and we're going to do some big and fun things. And I'm so freaking excited. So thank you guys, because this would literally not be possible without you. You guys are my Valentines. You guys are my Galentines. I hope you have such a great Valentine's, whatever stage of life that you're in. I'm sorry, this is like an hour exactly, but I just know I should probably cut it and then I need to edit it for you. And so it goes out. Thank you for letting me gab. I love you guys are all like, it's one long just audio message. And that's exactly what this is. I get to just like chat your little ear off. I feel like I'm speaking to you. I know most podcasts are dialogue and back and forth, but like this is so special because I do feel like I'm sending you guys just like an audio message. I'm like, here's what happened. Here's what's going on. Here's what I'm thinking. And I so like literally, I was going to say I love you, but I don't know if that's weird. I just like so appreciate you guys. And I love our little hour together, obviously Mondays, but like, this is my favorite. I love like keeping you guys in the know of what's happening, even though my life is so boring. And I'm shocked every week that I talk for an hour because what the fuck. However, that is all. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you have the best weekend. Be safe. Stay warm. It's cold as fuck in Dallas. And next week we'll be on our bullshit. And hopefully I'll definitely have a longer episode for you guys. And that is all. Thank you so much for being here. You're the best. I will see you on Monday. Oh, let me run through really quickly what the episode on Monday is. I do 4 Am I the Assholes or like stories. Number 1. Am I the asshole for not letting my friends use my backyard for their wedding anymore because they are not allowing me to bring a +1? This man was so graciously offering his backyard for their wedding, and because of a crazy ex-girlfriend, they said he can't bring a +1 because one of their friends like doesn't want him to, and he's allowing them to use his backyard. It's fucking crazy. Okay. Am I the asshole for not wanting to follow my mom's rules if I'm paying half the rent? A 23-year-old girl, okay, is moving in with her mom and her mom's like, you're going to have to follow the rules. Meanwhile, she's paying half the rent. Fuck no. Okay, next. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my sister-in-law stay at my house after she kept criticizing my home? I stand with the woman. No, this woman was making like crazy comments about her house, saying like the backsplash is too much and yada yada. She said, if you don't want to stay here, if you don't like the home, you can leave. And the husband said, that was harsh. Shut the fuck up. Okay. And lastly, which is the most relatable, nobody likes my boyfriend and it's starting to affect my life. Okay, if you haven't been there, you're a liar. So I thought that one would be good and relatable. Those are the stories. Okay, I'm done gabbing. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you on Monday, and especially I will see you next Friday. Okay, bye guys.